Next speaker is Kent Langham. Colby Thielen will be next.
Good evening, Commissioners. As a pastor here in town, I am here representing the views of many of Escambia County citizens. As you see behind me, what we propose this evening, Commissioners, is very simple. We propose a resolution that would declare Escambia County a safe county for the unborn, and we propose that you pass this resolution as soon as possible. With there being no abortion mill currently active in Escambia County, nor for hundreds of miles in any direction, we have the prime opportunity as a county to express our belief in the dignity and sanctity of human life. And with my remaining time, I want to put before you three biblical arguments. Number one, the Bible consistently teaches from Genesis to Revelation that God is the creator and sustainer of human life. Number two, the Bible consistently teaches that God forbids murder and hates the shedding of innocent blood. Murder, defined biblically, is the unjust taking of human life, and this is precisely what abortion is. The Bible and scientific evidence are absolutely clear that the life begins in conception, and God warns against taking innocent blood, and he judges those who tolerate such evil. And number three, Jesus Christ is King and Lord over all, not just the church, but over all, including the governing authorities. And Jesus believes and affirms as the Word of God everything written in the Old Testament. He agrees with the scriptures that teach that God is the creator and sustainer of human life, and he agrees with the law of God that forbids murder. He is the true lawgiver, and he is the true eternal judge. And as officials, gentlemen, you have the responsibility to commissioners to not to oppose Jesus Christ, but to acknowledge him and rule and legislate in accordance with his commands. So we're asking you, commissioners, if you would take our resolution, consider it, and act on it as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thanks, Kent. I'm going to address that capital punishment too. Our next speaker is Colby Thielen.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioners. So I'm here also with the Cross Church in Kent, and I would just like to say we have American reasons for believing this. If you're not listening to the law of God, we would want you to consider some points from our tradition as well. Our Declaration of Independence says that we have self-evident truths. These self-evident truths are that we have natural rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Why are they self-evident? William Lawrence spoke in defense of the Civil Rights Act of 1866, and he says, "It has never been deemed necessary to enact in any constitution or law that citizens should have the right to life or liberty or the right to acquire property. These rights are recognized by the Constitution as existing before and independently of all constitutions." And so I'd like to say that, morally speaking, we have a greater obligation to protect life than what's just laid out in the Constitution. The philosophy of the founding generation is that all legitimate governments protect the right to life without discrimination and with equal protection. And we see that in the 14th Amendment as well. State governments and local governments have the ability to do this. I'd like to speak on Roe versus Wade as well. In Roe versus Wade, the decision was made based on a lack of scientific consensus for when life begins. And I just want to say that there's an avalanche of evidence that life does begin at conception, right? Zygotes have a complete human genome, which guides them through development through their entire life. That's the definition of a human, right? 68% of high-ranking academic biologists, most of whom are secular, believe that life begins at conception. And so I just want to say that it's the will of the people, based on the fact that we have no abortion clinics around, that, sorry, may I finish?
No, you're finished. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Colby.
thank you. It is the will of the people, based on the fact that we have no abortion clinics around, that Escambia County be completely safe and equally protect all human life. Thank you.
Thanks, Colby. Our next speaker will be James Hunter.
God moves in mysterious ways. if you thought about how did abortion really come to a stop? If you go out anywhere and look at, go to the mall, go anywhere you want to, how many people are looking at this thing? And when they look at this thing, what they see are images. And what began to happen was, oh my gosh, that's a child. All over the country, you've got sanctuary cities for all kinds of unmentionable things. Pensacola and Escambia County has the opportunity to do something fundamentally different and to do something that why God has changed the hearts of people all over not only the country, but the world. I have a nephew, and that little child should not be alive. He was 23 weeks old in the Mount Sinai Hospital in New York. He is now a bouncing baby. A friend of mine from Australia who his daughter is married to a professional baseball player. That little child was 24 weeks old, again, would be dead at any other time. God moves in mysterious ways. Let us do something that shows who we are as a people that truly is a beacon of light to the rest of this country and to the rest of this world. There's a reason why people look at this phone and went, oh my gosh, when they look at their computer screens and go, oh my gosh. Remember that. And I think what will happen here would be beauty beyond what we can imagine. Thank you.
Thank you, James.